drinkers!
Whoa.
We're back, baby. We're back and better than ever. It's January 7th, the night of the Lions finishing up this 2023-2024 season with the victory over the Vikings. They put the pressure on the Cowboys and Eagles to get the 2 seed. The Cowboys did accomplish that task, unfortunately, but the Lions will be the 3 seed and hosting Matt Stafford and the Rams on Sunday night, a week from tonight. This is, wow. I mean, there's just a lot to go over this game, the matchup, or at least our initial thoughts on the matchup. We'll get in more depth later this week. But before we get into all that, let's introduce the Blue Kool-Aid crew that is here. I am Big Z. Let's get to the rest of the crew. We got UJ.
Hello, everybody.
And Bob.
Go Lions, baby.
So, the playoffs are nearly set. The Bills and Dolphins are playing, but that's on the AFC side. But as far as the NFC, it is all set. San Francisco gets the bye. The 2 seed goes to the Cowboys. You know, should have been the Lions, but oh well. And the Cowboys will be playing the Packers right before the Lions game on Sunday, and then the Lions will be playing the Rams, as mentioned, and then the 4-5 matchup is the Eagles traveling to Tampa Bay. So, it's a really fun playoff matchup, especially that Cowboys-Packers one, too. It's old head coach versus new head coach in McCarthy, so that's another good matchup. Yeah. But, man,
the Lions one's a big one, too.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, well, that's the obvious one. That's what I led with.
Yeah.
But...
No, I meant with the outside stories. I mean, not just because we love the Lions.
Right. Yeah. But, man, I guess let's start with this game first a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we get into that. First thing I just want to say is that the energy starting this game and throughout the game was that controlled fury that Dan Campbell talked about. Right, UJ? I mean, the Ford Field was lit. The team was like just pumped up to the max.
Absolutely. You know, we still had something to play for in this game. We were still going for the 2nd seed. And, you know, that's Campbell's philosophy all along with this team. You know, we're going to play to win. We're going to play, you know, we got something to play for. We're going to go out there. And he did. He went out there, all guns a-blazing. You know, it was a costly game in the injury side. However, you know, a lot of people will give him a hard time for that. But I think Campbell does what Campbell does. And the players are behind him 100%. So it's the next guy up and all that stuff. But, yeah, it was a fun game to watch. It's nice to see that they came out there to win. And I don't know. It was a great game. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I'll have other things to say as we go along. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, Bob, your initial thoughts about the game today?
Yeah, it was. I was okay with them starting the starters. You know, some people wanted to sit them all, but I like getting that 12th win and just the momentum going into the playoffs. And it does suck, you know, with LaPorta's injury and Raymond, but I with you, UJ, that stadium was rocking, and it's going to be again.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just excited. I'm so happy right now. So,
yeah, I mean, just what a great way to end this magical season. Most wins in a regular season in Lions history with 12. We went over that in the previous podcast. Just the even just like the amount of double-digit win seasons is rare for this franchise, let alone this year getting a 12. And it should have been 13. It should have been 13.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot there. I love that Skipper caught a pass in this game. That was
my God. The crowd went nuts. The crowd was going nuts.
And then the crowd also went nuts, I think, when the first time the ref announced that he reported eligible.
Oh, yeah.
It was on first down, too. It wasn't even like trying to do some trick thing. I guess it's tricky.
But I guess he was
like that in first down.
I guess he was eligible receiver on the touchdown to LaPorta, too, and they didn't announce it. So the league continues to be very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Normally you wouldn't, notice that, but after last week's events,
we definitely kind of crazy
do now. So let's start this on the offensive side of the ball tonight. Let's go with some of the positives here, because Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't get the Pro Bowl. Pissed off. He played pissed off. 144 yards. That electric 70-yard touchdown. Thing of beauty, just down the sideline in the turkey hole. Beautiful pass from Goff. And then it was onto the races from there for Monroe.
Onto the races, but it also required some juking on his part to like get those angles there. It was awesome, man. Got a great run.
I'm telling you, that guy is Golden Tate 2.0. Every time I watch that guy,
I think he's better than Golden Tate.
Well, I said 2.0, Z.
Okay,
That's the better version
all right.
of Golden Tate.
Fair
and
enough.
he is a better version. He's an upgrade, but he's similar in his traits, the way he runs and the way he moves. But yeah, he's like a step above that. He's something else, man. This kid is amazing. And yeah, he piss him off. Keep pissing him off. That's what I say.
Yeah, all right.
And also big shout out to Josh Reynolds. I think he needed 19 yards in this game, and I'm getting 44. So.
Hey, how great was that? The last drive, he needed I don't know how many yards, and they just kept feeding him the ball so he can get his bonus.
Right.
Come on, that was great.
That was
fantastic.
Cool.
Five catches for 44 yards in this game.
Yeah.
Just continues to be a super reliable guy in the clutch.
Yep.
I mean, the Lions again just look great. Only sacked once in this game against a defense that blitzes over 50% of the time. A defense that seems to be figured out. This Minnesota Vikings team has collapsed defensively in the last quarter of the season, and the Lions have played them 2 of the last 3 games and really have figured them out. Too bad they're not playing them in the playoffs because the Lions only ran the ball 23 times for 70 yards. It wasn't like an electric day on the ground, but it didn't need to be because they had a bunch of explosive plays in the passing game.
Right.
James Mitchell had a 24-yard catch, so we'll need him to step up in the future, probably.
Yeah. That was a nice catch by Mitchell, by the way. That was a big-time catch he made there.
Yeah.
Off balance, leaning back. It was a very awkward catch, but he made it.
And Donovan sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
Donovan People-Jones only catches the ball in clutch situations, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. 2 catches for 25 yards. I believe one of them was on the 4th and 1.
Yeah.
So, and then Kalif Raymond, 2 catches for 50 yards. Also, great punt returning in this game.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that he comes back. I think he's underrated, like the role that he fills, especially the sure-handedness on punt, because I don't know how many times you guys have watched like football games this year where the muff punt. Like he is as reliable as it gets back there as an all-pro returner.
Absolutely.
It would suck not to have him back there. I imagine throwing Monra or something back there, but.
Oh yeah. Speaking of punt returns, I just had a quick question. When they downed him at the 1, you could hit the guy like that. I didn't.
No, you can't.
They did though.
I know they did. They didn't call anything though.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about.
It was weird. He didn't hit him that hard. I mean, it kind of looked. It wasn't as bad as it looked when they on the replay. Just sort of.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they just thought it wasn't a big deal. I don't know, but you can't do that. You down the ball right there, and then the guy comes in Jackson.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. There probably should have been a call, but
I mean, it's no big deal. I was just curious about the rule because I would have thought that would have been a flag, but it wasn't. So anyway,
who knows these days, Bob? Who knows?
Yeah, depends on who's playing. If it's Dallas,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, but I just want to say something.
Yeah.
The Vikings played hard. They didn't have much to play for. Their chances of getting in were slim to none, and they played hard, but a touch dirty. And I'm sorry, but that one play, Amon-Ra was just. I hope that guy gets fined or suspended or something because that was when he kneeled on Amon-Ra in that one play.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that was with intent, man. You cannot say that wasn't. He was trying to hurt him after the play.
Not even knee, like a flying knee jab thing.
With his entire weight of his body.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a big guy too. I don't know.
That was BS for sure.
Yeah, that was dirty.
I agree with you, UJ. I think at least Lions fans definitely agree with you that there should be a big fine coming for that, or any independent viewer of the game, rather.
Yeah.
But going back to our opposite side, I thought Jared Goff played a phenomenal game today. He even threw off on the run. I think the one to Mitchell, the one you mentioned.
Looked like Mahomes out there.
Yeah, flushed out to his left, threw it across his body towards the middle of the field.
Yep.
That was a great play. Yeah.
Fantastic play.
We've seen it a couple times. I haven't really seen it from his right to his left. I've seen him rolling to his left and throwing to his right a couple times because another one that comes to mind. I believe it was the Bears game. He did it, or no, Saints game. Sorry, to Montgomery. He had one like he was running up the middle, slightly to his right, and then or running up the middle, then decided at the last second to throw it off to the right to Montgomery. Montgomery dropped it, but
hey, in this
a little
game
better
though,
team to his right.
on the 4th and 1,
Yeah.
he did a bootleg to his right, and I think he hit Peoples-Jones on that one, right? That was
that was right down the sideline because it looked like he could have gone for the first
Yeah.
down, and he decided to throw it 20 yards.
It was an awesome throw too on the run.
Yeah,
It
that
was a great
was.
throw.
Yeah. No, he played a good game. You guys are right.
He's still his deep ball is still questionable though. He finally Amon-Ra's open over the top. He overthrows him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that, but
A rare deep route throw to Amon-Ra. We haven't seen that, I would say, often this year. Most of it.
They were talking about adding a few this year, but it was very few.
They're waiting to the playoffs.
No, but he's been throwing more. Like, hey, how about that deep one to Raymond on down the left sideline? He dropped a dime on that one.
Yeah,
it was perfect. You got knocked out on the 4 or something like that, 4 or 5 yard line. Great pass.
That was nice.
Yeah, I knew overthrew Amon-Ra, but what the hell?
Yeah. The Lions seem to keep it tamed back a little bit for Gibbs in this game. Only 10 carries. We got a ton of action out of him. Nice touchdown run, of course. So Montgomery reliable. Montgomery's played in 14 games this year. He has a touchdown in 10 of the 14 games this year.
Amazing.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But the offensive line played great again today.
Yep.
It's almost like you don't really have I have almost small concern that Goff is going to get hit on many of these downs. It's crazy how reliable they are when they're at full strength. It's really fun to see.
It's just not some of those draw plays and stuff. They still struggle. It seems like they let that one guy sort of slip in for the 3 or 4 yard loss. We had a few of those plays again today.
Yeah,
a little frustrating. Hey, who's that?
That's Red Dog.
Red Dog.
Had to slip away to get on this pod. I'm too damn excited.
Really quick, Red Dog, your thought on the game today? Just your initial thoughts.
Oh, man. The first thing that comes to my mind at this game, well, Jared Goff, honestly, but really where it all starts, the trenches. Both sides. Our offensive line was stellar today. I mean, the run game wasn't the best it's been, but Minnesota was making a really big point of stopping it. And the pass protection was sublime. And then that defense, man, our second rounders are really starting to develop into some dangerous pieces on our defense. Levi with a sack and on some nice run stuffs, and Pascal just really being kind of a menace all around. And Aleem, that D-line was great today. The O-line was great today. The trenches, baby. We dominated both sides of the ball there.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good time to transition to the defensive side of the ball now. So, this is 2 weeks in a row where the Lions have given up 12-plus catches to the lead receiver on a team for over 190 yards, and it's concerning. It's really concerning. They cannot seem now. They're not facing a CeeDee Lamb or a Justin Jefferson, who are probably two best receivers in the NFL right now.
So they're facing some good ones next week, though. I mean,
they are, but I wouldn't put Cup and Nakua at their level. At least Cup of this year at their level necessarily.
Doesn't that almost seem like an expected casualty the way we play defense? Though it seems almost like we can take these massive yard performances but still play winning football.
When you're scoring 30 points, you can.
Yeah,
they only put up 22. I mean, it's not like they tore us apart on the scoreboard. I mean, they put up a lot of yards with Jefferson, but it's not like that reflected, they're a ton of yards on offense, really, but it didn't result in a lot of points.
If I was the Rams, I would just try to get in 3rd and 20, 3rd and 30.
Yeah, right.
They're much more likely to convert.
3rd and 30.
Unbelievable.
That was unreal. 3rd and 30.
I know.
I think this defense, you can't just play hero ball, bomb ball this defense constantly. I mean, yeah, you can hit us that way, but I don't think it was like they were going to just keep going deep for touchdowns to take that game back, which obviously they didn't.
Well, you're right, Red Dog. The caveat there is that we keep scoring a lot of points. So, I mean, so far the offense has been up to the task.
Yeah, there was that one section of the game where the Lions scored to pull ahead, and then the Vikings came back in 2 plays and scored
immediately.
Oh, that was frustrating, man.
But they still kept their heads and won the game. So, but
They
it was
did.
frustrating a moment there.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, this game overall though never felt like it was in doubt. Like I know they put the 2 back-to-back touchdown drives on bombs basically, but like it never felt like the Vikings were gonna like come back and take that game from us. It felt like a very just steady performance on every side of the ball with some really excellent plays from every element of our team.
Yeah, and again, the Lions shut down the run relatively today. A little better performance out of Ty Chandler. Definitely way better than the last time they played. I think Ty Chandler had 17 yards. Today it's 69, but still,
He had a couple good runs against
he did
us
have a couple of good
today.
Yeah. And Kaminsky didn't play today, which is interesting. But Aleem looked, I think, pretty solid out there. It was good to see him back for sure, especially in pass rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good.
But the Rams next week, not to jump ahead and assess them too much, but they'll give Kyron Williams 25, 26 carries probably next week. That's we're all talking Stafford and Kupp and Nakua. The life and blood of that offense this year is the Kyron Williams, the running back. Was when he's healthy and versus not there, they're a much different team. Well, I mean, we could ask Jay about that later, but I like where they're at in terms of the run game, and just it's like our pressure is getting there relatively good today.
Yeah,
but it's still concerning. We're going up 400 yards passing to Nick Mullins twice in 3 weeks, and then Dak and then CeeDee Lamb getting over 200 plus yards as well. They just have the Lions defense is built to not give up the explosive play, and they've been giving up the explosive play a lot in the last few weeks.
We've been playing more aggressive.
Are creeping up for some, yeah.
I think they've changed their style a little bit as the season's gone on.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely have. That's for sure. Especially
with the blitzing now. They left who's that Vildor on an island with Jefferson there in that one play.
Right.
I mean, good Lord, your blitz has to get there. If it doesn't, you're screwed. And they were screwed on that play.
Yeah, these NFL receivers are too good. These guys are just too damn athletic. I mean, even like Sutton, who is very good as a cornerback, struggles when he's just left alone on these dudes when they make that break deep route and stuff. Without safety help, it's hard. And we're being aggressive.
Yeah, our safeties are too busy blitzing. No one was back deep.
Yeah,
safeties came up big at the end of the game, though, man.
It was a turnover too. It was Iffy's blitz that caused Cam Sutton's pick. So I mean, that kind of ball play, you live by the big play, you die by it a little bit. And so when these teams with these studly receiver cores are just gonna get a few once in a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way our line is built, although it's not bad. It's getting better. We still can't just rely on 4 guys rushing all the time. We need to throw those blitzes in there now to give pressure. And but it's good. Like Red Dog, you were saying, we're seeing signs with Pascal. Look, I thought really good today. Romeo Cora showed up today.
Romeo,
I like him, man. I like him coming to playoff time a lot. So
he's really turning it on.
There's good signs up there for our line right now.
Houston back, and you got potentially the complete set now.
Yeah, maybe. We'll
see. At least better than they're doing
if we get him back.
yeah.
Hopefully.
What do you guys think of CJ Gardner-Johnson out there today? Mixed bag?
Mixed bag.
A mixed bag, but I loved it. That guy comes to play, and he's just so hyped all the time and brings a lot of energy to the defense.
I thought he got better as the game went on, though. I thought he got better as the game went on, personally. He got more in the mix. Like once he took a few hits or gave a few hits, he seemed more comfortable back there. And then toward the end of the game, he seemed to be more aggressive and playing better. Just as a general observation.
Honestly, I thought Brian Branch was kind of pretty standout today. Like that one where he nearly picked it, just like playing the hip pocket on that route.
Yep.
That was a stellar defensive play. That dude is so remarkable as like he can play like he might be our best cornerback after Cam Sutton. I think may not even be a bold statement. He's just so clingy in coverage, and so smart about everything.
Yeah. So, but Dan Campbell 12 tackles today.
Dan Campbell?
Wow.
Dan Campbell had 12 tackles.
I said
Well,
Jack
didn't notice
Campbell.
him. He was
I
too
said
fast.
Jack Campbell.
That sounded like Dan.
Sound like Dan to me,
I
too.
heard Dan.
Well,
Let's
it
check
wasn't.
the tape. What is that commercial where they
Yeah,
throw the
they-
flag? You know, like,
yeah.
Yeah, review.
Anyways, Jack Campbell, 12 tackles, a sack. Great game for him. Good
Very
things
good.
looking up there. And Anzalone, 9 tackles too. So 21 tackles from the 2 lead linebackers. Derek Barnes also. So when our linebackers are making tackles, that's a good thing. Like that's a good
Yes.
thing for the box score.
And Campbell, by the way, has just been getting better every game. It seems
Yep.
like he is just coming on, man. I'm telling you, this kid is going to be something.
yeah,
So,
we did good on our preview because I picked Amon-Ra for my roar of the week. I think
I picked Campbell.
you picked Campbell, who had a nice game, and Z, you picked Kalif Raymond, who had one of his best games of the year.
Yeah,
So-
he
And
had
I
a great
picked Goff.
Yeah.
Goff
Wow.
had a great game
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So
Man, people
Wow.
should really listen to this podcast.
I
Game.
know.
Really should.
Our
We're
expert
awesome.
predictions.
We know our stuff. We know our stuff.
We know our Lions anyway.
Yeah. So I guess the way the Lions are playing, yeah, they're so the way the Lions started the season was not to go with the explosive play, but then they weren't generating turnovers. Now they've completely reversed their defense. It's more attack, more aggressive, but at the same time they're giving up bigger plays in at certain moments. Like for a great example is last week against the Cowboys, they blitz, and Derek Barnes is right there to make the play, except he just runs by him, which we don't understand.
Oh.
But then, as a result of him not even like disrupting the play, that left the safety in one-on-one coverage against arguably the best receiver right now in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb, and
Yeah.
they were screwed. So,
That could have changed that whole game right there, man.
That's
if you
just part
made
of
right
what-
play.
yeah,
I mean, less noticeable, but basically the same thing happened to Vildor on that touchdown against Jefferson. I mean,
yeah,
in this game, it just wasn't as like close to actually hitting with the safety this time. It was a big blitz that just left him wide open by himself in a really almost impossible win situation against a guy like that.
I'll tell you that Mullins has a big arm, though. I got to give him some credit. You know, he's a gunslinger, sort of a poor
Yes.
man's Brett Favre kind of guy. You know, he slings it, man. He's got a good arm. So I don't know.
That's like
same college too.
that's like the really poor, like living in an alley kind of Brett Favre. I mean, I wouldn't compare those two.
Out of the
far.
dumpster, Brett Favre. Yeah,
You can
like,
see why Mullins has stuck around the NFL for a while, even though he hasn't gotten too much play time.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like you saw Jaron Hall for the Vikings last week, their rookie 5th rounder, and then him, it was like night and day difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Vikings, good riddance, good terrible season for them.
Yeah,
But-
screw those guys. I'm still salty about what he did to Amon-Ra today, that big goon.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking
97.
about that. Yeah.
He should be suspended for at least a game next year. That's bullshit.
Yeah, that was dirty.
There's no place for that kind of crap.
No.
And it's caught red-handed on film. He should not get away with that.
I don't think he will. We'll see what
No.
happens, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, I'll be curious if he gets a suspension.
At least a hefty fine.
Yeah. So I mean, the Lions finished 12-5. The Packers make the playoffs too today. That was interesting, but there was a lot of right there at the end. It was like, are the Lions going to play the Packers, Rams?
I
Depending
know,
on-
right
because
down the wire.
the Rams score with like 4 minutes left to take the lead and get the 2-point
Yeah.
conversion. Actually, they could have tied it like on overtime. They just wanted to see the result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Which
think
made-
the Rams would be a more fun matchup, actually. So
Yeah, I actually like that
Oh,
match
it's
better.
really
Like,
fun.
playing a division opponent a third time, they know you the best.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we wouldn't
I
see
think-
them now till the NFC Championship.
Green Bay's the lesser team. I think, if you care about that in this matchup. I mean, honestly, once you're in the playoffs, it's all bets are off. Like, it doesn't matter who you play. You got to beat the best team
Sure.
to win it all anyway.
Right.
But it's hard to beat this narrative. It's hard to beat
That's a
the
tremendous
Stafford
narrative.
coming back to Chicago, the trade, like the symmetry of it all. It's like poetry. It kind of rhymes. This is a great matchup. It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah,
That's
and I
why
think
the NFL scripted it.
right, and I think that's why the NFL put this
Yeah.
game in prime time on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
one
let's go.
quick thing about the Rams. You know, Kid J, our producer Kid J, is a big Rams fan. Normally, he's really quiet and kind and everything. But when we're getting ready to go on the podcast, his chest is puffed out. He's talking shit about the Lions.
He's talking
you know?
shit and
I'm
swearing
like,
and stuff.
whoa.
And like,
I'm like,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Well, he's my
Wow.
twin brother. He got dropped on his head as a child.
Getting
So,
chubby, getting
We'll have to
chubby.
bring him into the den this week so he can face the.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
don't
Lions.
worry. So, I mean, we can already tease
See if we can line him up.
Our producer Kid J will be in the den later this week. It's been a long time coming on that one. I can't remember if we had Kid J in the den the last time Lions play the Rams. That was the first year Dan Campbell's era.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but this one is big.
Yeah. Either way, this is massive. Biggest one. It's just crazy. It's the first home game in Ford Field's history, first home game in Detroit in 30 years, and for the playoffs. And Stafford's the one that's coming back.
That crowd is going to be crazy.
My initial thought is that he's going to be too distracted
man.
being back in Detroit. Like something's going to pop up in his head, like in the middle of a play or something like that, like an old memory or something like that. And it's just going to distract him ever so little. And it's just going to throw off the timing a little bit on some of these throws. That's my initial thought.
Maybe Stafford will have a relapse thinking he was still a Lion and he'll throw to the wrong team, you know.
I like that one.
I think it's
They
going to
better
be
not
a
wear
little
the silk.
surreal for him. This will be the first time he's back in Detroit playing there in a place he played for so long, and yet the crowd will be hostile to him this time. That's going to be I think it's going to be a little interesting to see how he feels. I think he's going to be a little bit in his feels. I think it's going to be hard for him to – I'm with Z to some extent. Like, I think it's going to be hard for him to just fully compartmentalize. He's going to see what he left and misses out on. You know, he's not going to be the guy to take us there, and we're going to go right through him to get it.
Well, I think he'll beat him, but I think Stafford, personally, I think he's a really good quarterback. And
Yeah,
I think
I do too.
he'll be ready to play.
I know.
What we should do, you know, they switched the
whatever.
numbering system this year in the NFL with
Yeah.
players. I don't know if you could do this, but maybe have one of our defenders wear the Calvin Johnson, number, and then he'll be just like, oh shit, he's open.
That would be funny. Yeah, really lean into Zach's
I love it.
about hallucinations.
Hey, we'll have all the defenders wear 81.
Yeah.
It's like, all of them.
Yeah.
I'll just sort of one of them. One of them will be open.
Well, that would be fantastic if possible. Oh
I
man,
don't know. You never know. You got to try.
It seems
everything,
likely to me, honestly.
This is a great match. I mean, the Rams team got off to a horrible start. They got off to, I think, a good start. Then they were horrible, but then they turned around. And Stafford's health had a lot to do with that. But and Kyron Williams, a running back. But we can talk about them later. This more. So Sam LaPorta and Kalif Raymond, injured. It's tough.
Yeah, that's
a tough beat. There's like, some people out there saying like they should have not played. Well, Connor's on here, but he was calling the game meaningless in our chat. But I mean, they were going for a 2 seed. Like, this is an important game.
It wasn't.
We should have just waved the
You don't
white
know.
flag upon arrival and not played and risked our boo-boos. No, it's football. You could get injured in practice, and you had something to play for. I don't
It's a
care.
tough one.
This game was far from meaningless. It's like a win in the NFL is rarely truly meaningless. There was so much. We knocked a division rival out of the playoff hunt. You know, we put pressure on the late games to know that we're still coming. And, like, people see what we did today. We went out there and put together a disciplined, we executed today like a really good team does. And I see nothing. I mean, the injuries suck, but they can happen anytime. That's the sport. And this team has the talent and the attitude to just keep plowing forward and as good a chance as anybody in this tournament.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
run it all.
Yeah, and so LaPorta has like a hyperextended knee and like a bone bruise, which is very similar to what Kelsey had, I guess, at the very beginning of the season, where he ended up not playing against the Lions. I guess it's a very, very similar type injury, and he ended up not playing. But
that was the game that we got an asterisk on.
Yeah, you
right.
did
Right.
put an asterisk on it. Yeah.
Wait, what? I put no
Yeah.
asterisk signing win.
Yeah.
I didn't say we
Slander.
did.
This is the second time this episode we got to throw the
Slanderous.
challenge flag down. And go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, right.
I think so.
But that's tough. And
It
if
is
he's
tough.
not available, which it seems like it's very likely he will not be available for this game,
Yeah.
at least there's a chance he can return like later in the playoffs.
There's
Have
still
you-
a chance he
have any
shows
of you
up
guys
for
ever
this
done
game.
that
I bet he
before?
plays.
There is a chance. It's just very slim
Yeah.
at the moment.
I ain't rolling him out until it's done.
I have not done
Well,
that
none of-
before to my knee, but it's
I
looked
have, maybe
very
not to
painful.
the extent he did, and it was a
Yeah.
scary, very scary thing when I did it.
Yeah, he's
And,
lucky it's not a torn ACL or anything, like some long term.
I know, but he walked off the field. He looked decent walking off the field, so that was encouraging to me. So
Yeah.
hopefully, if it is kind of a bruise thing, kind of a hyper, maybe we'll have him for the. I don't know.
It might be the kind of thing where pain is just something you can tough out.
Yeah, in UJ's day, they just tape him up, give him a shot or something, and send him back out there.
Hey, like my dad used to say, rub a little dirt on it.
Yeah.
That's right.
The human body's a wonderful thing. It heals easily, mends easily.
And-
Well, I don't think there's any doubts he's going to do whatever he can to get on the field.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like you compare it to the Kelsey injury. I think there was even question that day he might still play.
Right.
There's a
There
difference
was.
between opening week and week 1 of the playoffs in terms of motivation. So you're right. If he can, he will.
So, Z, let me ask you a question real quick. I mean, if LaPorta can't play, there's talk of signing Zach Ertz, or
Right.
are we just going to rely on our own guys that are in there now?
I'm
or
excited
what?
to see what.
Well, I think we
Mitchell
need a
can do.
third tight end.
I don't know if Wright is ready to come back yet.
Yeah, he's been on the injury list forever. He never went on
know.
the IR. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
Yeah.
That
I
means they
have
must
no
be
clue.
expecting him. If he's still on the roster and he's not on IR, then they must have some expectation of his return.
Well, the big
I mean-
reason Ertz makes sense for the Lions in a way, I mean, is that the tight ends coach for the Lions was the tight ends coach in Arizona when Ertz was there.
Right.
So they have that connection. But having said that, it's a brand new player coming in into the playoffs. And the Lions run a kind of a complex offense. Not some, at least from an outsider looking in, it seems like something that's not easily picked up in a week necessarily.
Yeah. And I wouldn't,
and
the way Brad
signing-
Holmes runs everything, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already got some other guy in mind that we haven't thought about, and then
I'm
they bring
sure.
him in.
Well, I have an analogy for you. It's like that movie, That Thing You Do, when they went on the Ed Sullivan show, the band, and then their bass player didn't show up because he was out doing push-ups with the Army guys. And then they brought in this bass player called Wolfman or something. And then he goes, no offense, but I don't think you know our stuff. And he just like, I think I could play it, Junior. He goes, okay. So as Ertz comes in, I think he can do it. That's all I'm saying. He's a professional. He's been around.
Why is Ertz available right now?
He was released just to maybe hop onto a playoff roster. Like that's what they do with some better. Like Dalvin Cook, for instance, was released from the Jets.
Oh,
Picked up by the
okay.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Well, the
So-
only thing I don't necessarily like about the Ertz, or really any move, would mean it would probably mean the end for LaPorta. Like you're gonna have we were shaping off our roster for the playoffs already. I mean, and if you bring someone new on, you gotta push someone out, which kind of sucks. And that would likely be LaPorta
No.
if he's the injured
No.
one.
Can I just show out a name that I haven't heard anybody bring, but like the Lions have a tight end on their practice squad right now, Anthony Ferkser.
Yeah.
So
Anthony.
I would imagine maybe they promote him as well. That's a possibility. So
I don't know. Mitchell showed some nice signs today. Like
he'll be active. I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
we're
going to be
out.
there. We're talking about another tight end.
right?
Hey,
No,
I'll
I
be
know.
third.
I'm just saying, like in terms of like maybe replacing a lot of Laporta's production. Like he is that receiver type. I would be really intrigued to see what he's been waiting in the wings to do.
Can we just, before we get off LaPorta, just the end of his regular season? What a hell of a regular season, though, for a rookie
Stellar.
tight end, man.
Record.
He had the record. He broke the record. What is he like?
889
Receptions.
yards, 86 catches, 889 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Yeah, so like
Amazing.
rookie
Wow.
tight end, it's incredible. So
But no one's even talking about it. The thing we're gonna miss about his blocking is stellar, man. He's a really good blocker.
Really good blocker.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a big thing. That's gonna hurt us a lot.
Ooh, actually, I just reminded you. Did you see that play where him and Mitchell were both blocking out on the perimeter on that screen for St. Brown? They led block at and like just both of them locked down a defensive back.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
I know what you're talking
really
about.
stellar,
Yeah.
and he just split them. That was sick.
That
Yeah.
was good. But I think our receivers, coaches, and tight end coaches, they teach these guys how to block because they all seem to be willing blockers on our team.
Yes,
True.
I agree.
J-Mo's like stood out as a blocker. Before he started
absolutely.
catching balls and
Well, it's two things. It's the coaching, but also the Lions draft to bring into the building. Like,
Yeah,
needed to be like J-Mo said his favorite position wasn't wide receiver in the draft process. They said it was gunner in the
oh yeah, I remember that.
So,
Yeah,
those are the
that's
type of
pretty
guys that the Lions
Brady.
are going out there looking for. Guys are going to give 100% effort, buy into the team concept, etc. Yeah, and then the other injury, it's undetermined. Have we seen any more news about it? I haven't really been able to find Kalif Raymond.
Oh yeah, that one looked bad.
It's a tough injury. It was ankle, right? His ankle
yeah.
injury.
They said ankle. Yeah,
He said him and LaPorta are kind of
LaPorta.
the same boat in terms of like it's not as bad as it looked, but also they don't know how long they'll be out type thing. So I guess that's good in a way. I mean, we missed Kalif probably on like some of the deep routes, gadget plays, but also his punt returning is elite and his sure-handedness back there. Did I mention it earlier in this pod or right before the pod where I can't remember like about how important like in all these games, even like the biggest games of the year, we see these muff punt after muff punt, and it just could turn the game, especially in the playoffs. To have the guy that's sure-handed back there is immensely important.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention how aggressive he is and makes stuff happen. But he was a weapon today, man.
Oh,
he was playing great as a punt returner. Like
Oh my god, so good.
Start the game on a 45-yard punt return. That was stellar.
Hey, we earlier just discussed how you'd replace LaPorta, but who replaces Kalif Raymond in this
on the offense?
J-Mo wasn't out there today. But
no
punt return. I would imagine like Amon Ra goes back there. I guess.
Peoples Jones can do it. He's done it before.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That's a good
Peoples
point.
Jones.
Good point.
Reynolds. I don't know. There's a couple guys.
You got what's his name, Green too on offense, who hasn't really gotten a ton of chances.
It's a possibility,
rookie.
I suppose. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully both are healthy. I would say immensely important. Pieces to our offense. The most important piece is our offensive line. So I'm at least happy going into the playoffs that they are fully healthy, barring any injury during the practice week.
Yeah, I will say this: and St. Brown, I think, is also worthy of note in one of those essentials. Like, as long as we still got St. Brown, this offense has a chance. With Goff, he is like. My God, that 75-yard touchdown today.
Exciting, right? You're a dog. Exciting.
I was like falling asleep. I couldn't like keep my head up. It was so boringly awesome.
Yeah.
Like that dude. I said in the chat, like Amon-Ra is as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Like he's one of the best. He's up there with all of them. He is so damn good.
He knows he was stiffed for that Pro Bowl bid, and. I know there's a lot of good receivers out there. There's several really, really top-notch receivers out there. So maybe it's a numbers game why he didn't get picked, or maybe because he's a slot guy and not a, whatever. But
he's just too boring.
Damn it, he deserved it. He deserved it so much, and he didn't get it. So that's just more fuel for him, I guess.
He should get an All-Pro nod for sure.
Absolutely,
but,
definitely. That'll be a tough battle because there's like a lot. I mean, Tyreek Hill is going for 2,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
short.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb is ridiculous.
He had 14 catches again today.
Jeez. Yeah,
so I mean, just ludicrous. What is that, like 28 catches in 2 weeks?
That's outrageous. It is pretty outrageous. Yeah.
Outrage. I think if we had a
Agreed.
lesser run game, like I think if we didn't have such a good run game, Amon-Ra would put up more numbers like these other guys, like 200-yard games. If like he actually had to be leaned on more, like we have a balanced offense, and that I think that cuts like the Cowboys, all these guys, they end up leaning on these star receivers. I feel a bit more than we do. That's not to say we don't. Clearly,
I know. Yeah, Amon-Ra gets
over
10 catches
100 yards a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm just saying, I think he'd put up even bigger numbers if he was the guy that had to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this is I mean, we can quickly kind of preview the matchup here. We don't have to spend too long on it right now. We'll get more in detail later. But I mean, this is a Rams team. Obviously, they're known for their offense with Stafford, Kupp, Puka Nacua, who just set the rookie record for receptions and yards today. He's had a hell of a season. It's crazy. 5th rounder out of BYU.
Crazy.
Who did not run
That was wild.
40 at all.
And a Pro Bowler over our own Amon-Ra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, what do you guys think of that time slot? Sunday night. I like that. The
That's
night.
Great. I
awesome.
mean, that's great for the Lions. The way they played in prime time this year.
Yeah.
Phenomenal time slot. Couldn't ask for anything.
I love
better.
it. And UJ and Z, you guys are going to the game. Connor,
Yeah,
and
we're gonna be there.
So
A lot of social media content. That's what that means. On Instagram, drinking Blue Kool-Aid. Twitter / drinking Lions. Just throw it out.
I can't wait, man. It's
And it gives
so fun.
it gives LaPorta 7 hours longer to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that?
True.
Marita's dead, right? We couldn't bring Mr. Miyagi in to like fix
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
like
Yes.
This is great. And of course on defense you got Aaron Donald.
Yeah, that guy's getting old.
So but I mean the Rams are one of the youngest teams in the NFL right now too. Them and the Packers. It's actually
That's crazy to think about, isn't it? I mean, what are we, 3, 4, something like that?
What?
We're up there too.
3, 4.
Young, as far as youngest teams.
yeah. Out of the, I'm not sure where to search that in the immediate. I know the Packers are the 5th youngest ever in playoff history, roster wise, to get into the playoffs. But as far as the Lions and the Rams, where they both rank,
yeah. I know the
maybe I
Lions
can
are up
find
there
out
though.
there.
You're right.
Yeah, they were up there.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, just the way the Lions rookies have contributed this year is incredible. Here we go. I think I can find it here. Ranking NFL teams by age after 53 man roster. Packers are the youngest. Rams at 2. Lions were 11th. Coming in. This is coming into this season.
Wow, that surprised me a little bit.
Hey, I got to get off. I just want to let you guys know that I'm super excited about this Rams game coming up, and I think we're going to roll them. So go Lions, baby, and I'll catch you gents later.
All right, Rod Dog. Peace out, man.
D-Rod Dog.
Woo.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a great storyline. Obviously, Stafford coming back to Detroit, but also everything involved with the trade. Jared Goff going against McVay in the playoffs is also a great revenge kind of game for him too. I mean, it's not just all about Stafford. This is arguably just as more about Goff going against McVay too.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They traded him away just to get rid of his contract. They didn't believe in him. I mean, McVay did everything he could to get rid of him and disparage him in the process.
Yeah.
He did not have any like encouraging things to say about Goff on the way out. Let's just say that he didn't say too much, but he also didn't say anything positive.
And he traded him without even telling Goff. It's
right?
like, even though they'd been working together.
I thought what was interesting about Goff though is
weird.
McVay was not going to give an exit interview or anything like that, and Goff demanded one, and got to sit down with him and I don't know what was said in that exit interview, but Goff demanded the exit interview.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I thought that was interesting about Goff's personality. I mean, it says a lot about him, I think.
Definitely. Yeah. It's gonna be sweet to see the Lions win.
Oh yeah, man.
Especially against the likes of like McVay and such. Because I think McVay's a little smug. I think he's a little cocky. I think he thinks he's like the smartest coach in the NFL on offense. I think he drinks his own, the media Kool-Aid on him. And I can't wait for the Lions to completely bring him down a peg.
I think he is a good coach myself, even though he's just kind
Well,
of
obviously
annoying.
he's a good coach.
I think he's a good coach, but I think he's going to be outmatched this week.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, the Lions defense is going to play a hugely important role. I mean, Stafford, we know he can take his risk though at times. And the Lions got to take full advantage of that. And this is an okay offensive line for the Rams. It's not a elite one by any means. So hopefully the Lions can continue to be aggressive, rack up the sacks, or rack up the pressure, force Stafford into some uneasy throws. This is a Rams team that likes to get rid of the ball quick though, if they can. Especially the likes of Kupp and Nakua. So
yeah. Well, he'll try that no-look sidearm stuff against Hutch, and he's going to just pick that off. And
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Definitely.
Hey, Hutch had a great game today, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. How do we go this long without talking about Hutch?
He's just heating up at the end of the season. I mean, he's had a great season overall, but really.
So what do you wind up with 10.5 sacks or something like that for the season? 11 maybe. He had 2 today, right?
I think you're right. Yeah, 2 today. Yeah.
3 last week.
5 in the last 2 weeks.
I mean, and not only just the sacks. I mean, he was disruptive, making great tackles on the run game, and that guy's he's a beast, man.
Oh yeah,
he's a beast.
And one of those long completions the Vikings got, he clobbered Mullins.
Oh yeah,
on that. He just crushed him.
He's so much better than Micah Parsons. He's so much better.
Yeah, right. See,
so much better.
No, you ruined the positive vibes here. I still think Parsons is really good.
He's okay.
Anyways, 9.5 on the year for Hutch, so just below 10, unfortunately.
No, he's over 10, right? He didn't get over 10.
2 plus 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5.
I thought he got over 10.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry, the thing on ESPN is just not updated properly. It's 11.5 on the year.
11.5.
Yeah, they for some reason they have the numbers there, but they're not summing correctly. They didn't include today's for whatever reason.
Well,
but yes, 11.5.
There's a reason he's a Pro Bowler. He's a stud, man. That dude is good.
Oh yeah, and the spin move again worked today.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. He shines under the bright lights too, man. Will be nice to have a night game for this playoff game.
I love that it's a night game. I love it. We've been rocking and rolling in the primetime games. That Ford Field is going to be so.
Oh my god!
It's going to be. I don't even know how the players are going to be able to hear a play call coming in. To be honest with you, the Rams
going to be
great.
Ready.
They better crank up their stadium volume to the loudest possible decibel, or learn how to play like if they were a deaf person or something like that, because it's going to be so loud in there when the Lions are on defense this week. The energy is going to be like nothing we've ever seen in Ford Field's history. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have more to talk about later this week in regards to this game. Oh man, this is going to be a fun week leading into a hell of a game. So the Lions right now opened as 3.5, 4-point favorites for this game. I think it's 3.5 now. Actually, it opened at 4 and went to 3.5.
That's probably about right.
So if anybody's curious about that, at the very least. But again, this game's at 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central next Sunday. That's January 14th. And Martin Luther King Jr.'s day is the next day too. So
it's perfect.
Enjoy the game, enjoy their night, and then get not go to work the next day. And so
I think he was a Lions fan too. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was.
Definitely.
Probably.
Everybody's a Lions fan in their heart. They just need to find it sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the country's going to be rooting for Detroit here too in this game. That's my belief, at least.
Yeah, I don't think outside of a very small community, many people care about the Rams at all.
Yeah, I think, and one of them produces the show, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, right. I think Kelly Stafford's going to be rooting for the Lions too.
Ooh. Yeah, she wants to go on family vacation. She wants the season to be over with.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, well, they'll leave the one kid home with the nanny, but I don't talk about that. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, so this is gonna be fantastic. We're gonna have major preview episode coming later this week. That should be a lot of fun. And of course, as I teased earlier, we'll have our producer Kid J enter the lines then, whether he likes it or not. I didn't even ask him if he's okay with it. But it doesn't matter. We're gonna do it. So sidelinereport.com. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you to social media, Instagram at Drinking Blue Kool-Aid, Twitter /X at Drinking Lions. Obviously, we're recording this live on YouTube. That's at DTBK, or just type in Drinking Blue Kool-Aid. Subscribe to the channel on there so you get access to the live streams that we have. You get alerted and hop on, give your thoughts about the game. Also, our email, if you have any thoughts about the Lions in general, or any message you want to send or any questions, that's drinkingthebluekool-aid@gmail.com. And then, of course, we want to thank our aforementioned producer, Kid J. Thank you for crushing it. Even though you are a Rams fan, we're gonna have to really listen to the episode and make sure you didn't, put some wonky thing in there, distort our opinions in pro Rams favor. Also, maybe we should go Kid J. The Rams suck or something like that. At the very end.
All right, I like it.
Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in. If you tune on YouTube tonight, we greatly appreciate that as well.
We love you.
Stephen Mackey just commented, speaking of Kelvin Johnson, why wasn't our challenge successful when that Viking didn't complete the process? Well, I mean, that's part of the great question. This is Dan Campbell challenging. It hasn't worked out well for him. I actually agree with you. I wasn't quite certain why, especially if you saw later in the day. I don't know if you watched the Packers game. There was a play where the guy bobbled the ball, looked like it's flight control, but then his foot hit out of bounds. That didn't. But they overturned that one. I don't really understand it. To be quite honest, I thought the ball moved when he hit the ground. So.
Yeah, I have a theory though, Z. Like in the Dallas game, they spent the whole game setting up that one play to win the game at the end, right? Skipper reporting and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Campbell is purposely throwing the red flags on plays he's going to lose, all year long, because when it gets to the playoffs, he's going to throw them at the right time, and he's going to win games because of it.
Well, one would certainly hope you're right, UJ.
He's playing the long game. He's playing 4D chess.
But in the past, he's had really dumb challenges. This was actually a legitimate one, I feel. So I could not get too upset with it. I think there's one in the Bears game, right? Where what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
It's clearly a catch.
That made no sense. Yeah.
He's not a good challenger. Let's face it.
Whoever's job it is to tell him and still has that job, kudos to that guy. He must just be longtime buddies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Okay.
We'll be back later this week. Thank everybody for listening. We greatly appreciate you listening throughout this entire regular season. Now is the fun part. And this is what we've been waiting for all year. Lions are getting into the playoffs. Stack going into Detroit. Goff going against McVay. Revenge game. Can't wait. This is gonna be a hell of a week. So thank you everybody for listening. And last but not least, as always, go.
Lions!